It's my time. It's my time. The sacred shift from selfless to self-full. Hi, I'm Holly Porter, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the podcast, All Things Retreat, where we explore soul living on purpose, one powerful conversation at a time. And today's episode is for every woman. I'm man, I guess, if you want to put yourself into this category, but who's ever felt guilty for wanting more. More peace, more space, more time, more you. Let's just say right at the top, sometimes being selfish is the most self-loving, soul-sustaining, life-saving thing you can do. And no, it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you brave. Everybody wants to be brave. So today's message is simple but powerful, and I want you to remember this. It's my time. So if you're listening to this in the car, I know you can't take notes, but if you're not, this is going to be an episode where you may want to grab a pencil and paper and jot down a few little things and tips that I'm going to share with you so that you can see if you can use them and put them in your daily life. So we're going to say that word again, those words. It's my time, until it just doesn't feel like words, but it feels like the truth to you and it settles into your bones. So let's talk about the guilt. You know that one, that voice in your head that says, you can't rest, there's still laundry. You can't take a break, everyone's counting on you. You can't spend money on that retreat. What will your family think? You can't say no, they'll be disappointed. Does any of that sound familiar? As women, we are raised to be nurturers. We're the caregivers, the peacemakers, the fixers. And while those are beautiful qualities, somewhere along the way, we were told that we're told that we come last. That if we have time left over, then maybe we can do something for ourselves. Well, what if I told you that model is broken? Because when you're running on empty, everything you give comes from depletion, not overflow. You can pour from a cup with crack. You can't pour from a cup with cracks in it. So today I'm here to give you full permission to fill your cup first. How does that feel? Not after the to-do list, not after the school run, not after the client calls. First. Why? Because it's your time. I want to share something deeply personal with you. Long time ago, not too long ago, my body stopped me in my tracks. I was working hard, running businesses, showing up for everyone, doing all the things. I ignored the signs. I thought I could push through, and then I found myself in the hospital with COVID for 70 days. I was put into a coma to help heal my lungs, and I was not only intubated once, but twice, and then had a trachea. I had sepsis, pneumonia infections, long COVID complications that came after, and it was a storm of survival. But somewhere in that storm, I left my body. I crossed over, and I experienced what I now know was a near-death experience. I also had a bunch of out-of-body experiences and a spiritual transformation experience, just as a side note. But I was surrounded by love and light. I felt seen. I felt held. I received messages I carry with me to this day. One of them was, it's your time. And I didn't mean time to die. I meant time to live. I stopped waiting, to stop being last on my own list, to stop silencing the parts of me that wanted more. That moment changed everything. Halfway through the year, we are right now, halfway, can you believe it? So if you're listening to this later, maybe it's not halfway through the year, so adjust, reevaluate to what time frame it is for you within your year. within your year. Now let's bring this. We're halfway through the year. Let's let that sink in for a minute. Remember all those goals and intentions that you set in January, at least it is for most people. How are you doing with those? No shame, no judgment, just an honest reflection for you. Because here's the beautiful part. You still have time. In fact, you have the best time right now to realign. This isn't about scraping everything and starting over. It's about revisiting, reconnecting, remembering your why. Maybe you set a goal to focus on your health. Maybe life got in the way. Maybe you had big dreams for your business, but fear crept in. Maybe you wanted more joy, more play, more creativity, but routine took over. This is your permission slip to come back home to your desires, not the ones that you should have, the ones you actually want. All right, selfish versus self-full. This reframe is something big. I want you to stop calling it selfish and start calling it self-full, because when you're full, when your spirit is nourished, you give from abundance and not burnout. There's a quote that I love that says, self-care is not a luxury, it's a responsibility. You being well is your power source. You being lit up, rested, and aligned, that changes how you show up in every room. And I promise, your people don't just need what you do for them, they need who you are when you're fully alive. Let's make this real. Here are 4 powerful steps that you can take this week to step into that it's my time energy. This is where the paper and pencil or pen will come in handy. Take an inventory of your life. Set aside 15 minutes. Ask yourself, what's giving me life right now? What's draining me? What do I keep saying yes to that I secretly resent? Ooh, that's a deep one. Clarity is power. Be honest. Okay. Number 2 is do a desire dump. Grab a journal, light a candle, write down what you crave. What lights you up? What would you do if no one else's opinions matter? This is you, raw and real. Just let it pour out. Number 3, create a me first morning. That doesn't have to be elaborate. Even 10 minutes of intentional stillness, stretching, journaling, or sipping your coffee in silence before you check your phone. That shifts your day. And then number 4, choose one brave act of alignment. What's one thing that you can say yes to this week that's just for you, nobody else but you? And what's one thing that you can say no to that you've outgrown? It could be booking a retreat, finally starting that creative project, canceling that draining obligation, or asking for help. One brave act. That's it. I know this isn't always easy. It takes courage to rewrite a lifetime of people pleasing. It takes strength to set boundaries where there were none. It takes faith to believe that you are allowed to be the priority. But let me remind you, you are not here to just survive. You are here to shine. You are here to lead with purpose, to love deeply, to live fully, to fill your life, not just rush through it. And that all starts when you choose you. So as we close this episode, I want you to breathe this in. Ready? It's my time. Say it until your body believes it. Say it until your calendar reflects it. Say it until your soul starts dancing again. Because when you rise, you give others permission to rise with you. If this episode resonates with you, please share it with a friend or someone who you can think of that might need this message today. And if you take 30 seconds and leave a review, we're still a new show and we would love that. That really does help us, and it helps us get our message out to reach more women who are ready to retreat forward and reclaim their light. And if you need a sacred space to reconnect with your words, the world needs you well. The world needs you whole. And most of all, you need you. I'm Holly Porter. Thanks for listening. And thank you for being brave. And remember, again, it's your time. Bye for now.